Yeah.
This is a 91 GMC 1500, has a 700R transmission. Transmission's burned up. The only thing we've done is actually drained the pan. We have took the pan off. It's full of metal and it has no reverse. So we're gonna pull the transmission. I got the battery cable off, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna start. This has a throttle cable that goes down to the transmission. I'll show you here if you look. If you look right here, this cable runs down to the side of the transmission, the passenger side of the transmission. Unhook this, and that gives us a lot of slack down there to unhook it. We have to take it off, and it goes down next to the valve body. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise it up and start on. Alright, you see, I got these lights in here. If you can look, the only thing we've done is actually drain the pan. Everybody else is going. We'll start with the crossmember bolt, or crossmember mount bolt, 15 millimeter. These here have the washer that are separate, so don't lose those. You got two of those. Goes to the transmission mount. Mounts it to the crossmember. Jacks in. Get 18 millimeter. Take the 4 crossmember bolts out. 1, 2. There's a nut on the other side. So we got 18 wrench. Make it good. Get a wrench on top. You put your nuts and bolts back together, you don't lose them as easy. Always try to lay them out nice and neat. If you drop a bolt, pick it up. It's easier that way. Better than looking for it later. If you drop it again, pick it up the second time if you need to. Third time, I'll leave it. Alright, you got to jack up your transmission and get the mount outside of the crossmember, the studs on the mount, and you have to cock it this way and it comes out. That's about the only way you can cock it, make them out. It won't come out the other way. 15 millimeter bolts on the transmission mount, and they're actually not 15 millimeter. That one is. That one is a I believe it was a 13. All right, next I usually take my front drive shaft out. You'll have a 16 or 5/8 on the back bolts that go right here in the front crossmember. Those are I think a 16 or 5/8. And 11/16 or a 7/16 or 11 millimeter on the front bolts. Dropping everything. Make sure you lay everything out, Mike. Pry that out. Make sure your caps on your U-joint don't fall off, and take these 4 bolts out. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Got one more here. Sure don't hit you in the head. Sometimes they stick on there. Lay it off the side. All right, right here, transmission shifter linkage. Take that out. We got a otter pin there. We'll take it out. Make sure we get this real good. Got a plug in right here. This is for the 700s. Have these. They're the only ones that have these set for us. We don't have them. Then our linkage for our four-wheel drive, our transfer case. Pop it off. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off my vacuum or my vent tube here on my transfer case. And then my plug-ins on my transfer case. There's one there, and there's one right back here for the output speed sensor for you. And kind of get your wires and get them off the side. And also I have right here a 8 millimeter right here on this side. We got an 8 millimeter socket there, bracket holding on. Get it off. Won't lose your knuckle screw. Get all that loose. I'm going to take the drive shaft out of there. I'll also be 11 or 7/16. It's in neutral, so. Sometimes these have a lot of extra fluid in the transfer case. If you run into that, get quite a bit. There's a front seal. The front seal in the transfer case, it goes in between the transmission and transfer case. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's a double seal. Sometimes it, sometimes it goes bad and it'll lose fluid out of the transmission. And it will go into the transfer case and it will not let it go back into the transmission. It'll go one way, not the other. That's my deal we got going on there. All right, back here. We'll start on this, you can come back here. I'll be able to see back here. I'm probably gonna take my starter off. I got the battery cable off. But these for this shield here, take these 15 millimeter out. I'll help it. You see it? This here, I can get it at. If I take my starter off, I can actually leave this this dust cover in here, and not have to worry about taking the transfer or the exhaust loose. Some people do it, and I don't know. That's the way I do it. So I can leave this here. I'm gonna take transfer or the starter loose, and then I will be able to should be able to get everything else. Starter's gonna have to just. These lines have been moved, I believe. These be a 9/16 on these starters. Newer starters would be like a 13 millimeter. Maybe a 14 or 9/16. Got shims on there, so we'll try to keep up those. Don't lose those. Alright, look up in there. See it flow. You can see the flywheel or the flex plate up there. I can get in there and still leave that shield, that dust cover in there, and I still get the ball. I'll try to get to it with my little impact. No, I might use my. Yeah, we go. 15 millimeter universal socket. You got 3 of these. There's the other one. Right here. And should be one more. Some people get a nut or a socket and put on the crank in the front or harmonic balancer and spin it, but I just turn it with the flex plate here. There we go. That's the last one. Now you kind of want to get in here, make sure your converter. There you go. You see where it slid back up into the transmission a little bit more. So we should be good. All right, come around this way. Right here, the first thing we did, we took this, this is that throttle cable that goes down, you see it?
Yep.
It's got a 10 millimeter, should be a 10 millimeter bolt that goes in there. Let's see if we can get that with this. I'll use it. It came out just not as pretty as it should. Let me get this way out. All right, right here, 10 millimeter bolt holds that in. Don't lose that. Now we got that bolt out, we can loosen it up. And you see it already is a, so I can get it out. Look here. There's that piece in there. You see it?
Yep.
That hooks inside here. Now if we let that hooked up inside, up top, the first thing when we unhooked it, it would have been sucked up in here a little bit. It'd been harder to get it out. But since we done that, it makes it easier to get it out. We'll take the lines loose. That's probably the last thing we do. That's the transmission line. So next I'll take the, let me get my jack.
Oh yeah.
You can move them lights. All right. Get this jacked up and we will take the transfer case loose, and then all we'll like is the lines and the bell housing.
You get any comments on your mustache?
Huh?
You get any comments on your mustache?
Am I getting anything? I have not. I don't think I've had the mustache. I don't think I've had the mustache. It's been a while since I've done a video. I guess it's been probably years since I've done. I did a couple of them a year ago. And before that, it's bucked for a long time. All right, we got our 6 transfer case bolts here. You got 1, 2, 3, one up top. I think I can get to most of these with a ratchet. The ones I can't will be this one and the one straight across on both sides. Well, they're good and tight. I got my short 15 ratchet wrench, my stubby ratchet wrench. Should be able to get that one. I've done some wiring on this. If you look at this, we've done some splicing in here. We'll see. Make sure everything checks out good for it. Hopefully it didn't cause no problems. At the very least, we'll tape it up.
It looks like the top of the truck to have wiring into it.
It's a nice truck. I've had trucks like these.
So have I.
Yeah.
So have I.
It's hard to break these loose with stubby. It's exhaust here anyway a little bit. Shouldn't take long. Well, we got some aftermarket bell housing bolts in here. It's always fun to not know what size bolts you have. I'll try to get these rest of these with a little ratchet here. You got a neutral drop it sometimes. It'll do anything usually. Get that top one, you can let it down. Maybe nice to have a little bucket handy. If you're doing this on the ground, you're gonna get fluid. I do get a lot of comments about, wow, you're doing this in the air and on the ground sucks, and you're right, the ground sucks. I'm not gonna do it on the ground unless I absolutely have to, so. But I think you can see better if I do it on there, do it on the rack. So you'll be able to see what I'm doing if I do it on the ground. Alright, I'm gonna be careful because this is gonna get fluid all over me. I don't want to get dirty. I'm already dirty enough today. If you look, this seal right here. See, it's dried and just cracked right there.
Flashlight's on it, you can't really see it. Yep.
See, watch it crack. That seal's dried out. I'll replace all those. What that does, that'll dry out, let all the fluid out of the transmission into the transfer case, and it's a double seal on the back side. That seal's not as bad, and it'll keep it from coming back out. So the transmission will be starved of fluid. All right. You're saying they do have aftermarket bolts. Let's see, we got missing here. All right, I got some. All right. I usually use a 1/2-inch drive air, but I got this new bad boy here from the Snap-on dealer here, and I got a 24-inch extension, and I've not found any bell housing bolts that are too tight. It won't take it. So that being said, we'll probably have to do it right now. So there was one bracket on there. I got it out. The rest of these are 14 or 9/16 because they're earlier model. When you get later up into the later 460s, the bolts look the same, but they're 15 millimeter. So there's one there. You see them?
Yeah.
One there. What did I break? Oh, on them transfer case bolts. Off to the other side here, this is you can tell this one looks a lot different. So hopefully this will get down. Hey, that wasn't tight.
It went on at all.
Huh?
It went on at all.
It was in there a little bit. One time. There we go. We'll slip these down so we don't lose them. And then got one here. Let me get a different angle there. Let me try that. I'll push this dipstick tube out of the way. Give me some more room for that bolt right here. That dipstick tube might be on the wrong side of some stuff up top. Just pushing it a little bit where it's not going to be. I think I'm doing that right now. There we go. There's that one. And then one more. Bless you. Thank you. All right. Let me grab my 1/2 inch liner.
Drive like a faggot.
All right, so transmission loose. Yeah. There, that's loose. Here's the lines. I got a line wrench, really handy. Flare wrench. They're called. Those are tight. There we go.
Yeah, you got it on there.
I know, I'm working on getting on there. This here's a good one because this one. Oh, all right, you see the line fitting measurement. I think it's a 19 maybe. No, probably 18. Probably standard, not metric. Yeah. All right, well, I got it on there, so I'm gonna cut my finger on that up top there. There we go. So that broke loose. So now you probably spin them more easier with just the wrench. Yeah, just like so.
22 minutes.
22 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I forgot to bring all my stuff over here. There we go. Wait a little bit. Alright, slide that dust cover over. Got to wiggle her a little bit. Turn her down higher. Bring the lines over there. Dipstick tube, don't get in the way. Everything will get in the way, baby. There we go. And make sure none of your wires are hanging. Don't pull any wires out. Let me show you, when you go back in, you look at your 3 flex plate holes here for your torque converter. That one's oblong, that one's oblong, and that one's not as oblong. If you start that one first and pull the converter back against the flex plate, you can tighten it down and then move and tighten the other ones down instead of having to start them all and then tighten them. So we were able to take this out without taking the exhaust down, which is a lot better. And now we're gonna go tear it down. That's 1991 GMC 1500 700 R4. Pretty much the same thing as a all the way up to like a 98 GMC Chevrolet. It's gonna be pretty much the same thing taken down, except the 700 has the throttle cable, and the 400cc has the wiring harness close into the internal wiring harness right here with a big bunch of wires. That's about the only big difference in what this one is and what those are going to be. So that's all I have on that one. Whatever, like whatever you got to do, share it, whatever.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.